Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, coach of your Wexford Wailords, and welcome to our UBL Season 1 roundup. So I've never actually sat down and done one of these before, but I figured I think today would be kind of a good day to kind of do it, or this league would be kind of good one to do, because I've never actually done it, and I figured while I'm away on vacation, this might be actually something that you guys might be interested in seeing, even if it's only a 10-15 minute video. You know, it's something different, you know what I mean? But anyways, I'm going to do a quick recap over the whole league, what I thought of the team that we used, all that kind of fun stuff, and hopefully you guys actually do get to enjoy it. So if you guys are looking forward to this, click the like button down below for me, and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, I'm actually going to start by I'm going to talk through. Can I show? Oh, there we go. There's my mouse. But I'm actually just going to run through every single one that we've had here, and or every single member of our team, I should say, and basically just give my thoughts about how they performed, what I thought of them, and all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to start with Lola and Megalopony. I think it's pretty simple to say, like, those stats. This is the regular season stats, I should say. But those stats, that is telling. 17 kills, 5 deaths, 12 differential over the course of 11 weeks. It's, you know, I think Megalopony has been fantastic for us this whole league. Definitely be the MVP, regular season kill leader. Absolutely adore using Megalopony again. Haven't used it so long. Really loved picking it up and using it again. There was not much more to say for it. There was games that it never even touched the field, and it didn't get to pick up any kills. But there was other games where it really was clutch, and it actually did help us in a huge way. So I was really happy to use Megalopony. I am honestly not a positive thing to say about Megalopony. I wish I could have done a couple of more crazy stuff with it, like the Last Resort set or Cosmic Power set. But I felt like the way we've used it has been really, it's been good, and I've enjoyed using Megalopony this league. It's been an absolute blast. After we got Neat, our Tapu Bulu, our Z captain, 10 kills, 6 deaths, 4 diff overall. Bulu got off to a storm over start this season, and then after a while just teetered off. Mid-season it just did not seem to do much for us at all, but definitely started picking its way, get back again, and started picking up kills, start being useful. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, it was fun using Bulu. I didn't think it'd be as fun. I kind of went off. I was kind of looking around and seeing what else I could need with Megalopony, and Bulu was a suggestion, and it was on the board when I went for it. And I would say I have enjoyed using it. I really, really have. I don't think it's as great as a Z captain as it could have been, or as its, say, counterparts, like say Coco or whatever. If you're talking about Tapus, but I don't think it's as good of a Z captain as that's out there or that you could draft. Mainly because I feel like it's just too slow. I think at base 75 speed, for me personally, I want my Z captain to be a little bit more faster, so I know I'm going to outspeed and get a huge hit off, rather than being like Bulu and being a bit slower. Knowing I'm going to hit hard, but I'm going to be taking a hit in the process. So for me, I kind of like a faster Z captain, but I do like the power that Bulu has. Woodhammer in the grassy terrain it's incredibly powerful, and there was the odd time that we had the Z move and it did come in clutch and it was good, but I think there is better Z captains out there. But without a doubt, I actually really did enjoy using Bulu. Wished I could. I definitely started to learn how to use Bulu a little bit more as I was going, as I was using it, and I wish I could get a few more games. But I definitely drafted it again just to try it out one more time. But definitely enjoyed it. For me, it's just a touch too slow. Just a touch. If it was just a touch faster, I'd be happy with it. After we call out the talk specs, I'm just going to run down every team. This is more of a chill video for me than anything else. But I'm just going to run down through the team. Not very impressive talk specs this season. I thought some of the games I bought it too. It was actually nice, and it filled the role and the gap it had. But for me, as like a tier 1 defensive wall, I wasn't overly impressed by it, because, you know, teams generally had a really good electric type and a really good psychic type, so they had 2 answers to talk specs every time. And for me, like, you look at all the different teams that I went up against, I was never comfortable saying, right, I can be talk specs this week, because their psychic type is awful and their electric type isn't too good either, so I know I can kind of deal with it. But, you know, that was never really the case most of the time. They always had something, or a ground type. Now, I know I had Bulu to bring the grassy terrain, but it was kind of, I found getting that to synergize a little bit was quite difficult. So I felt as a tier 1 wall, Talk Specs wasn't that great. Like if it was a tier 2 wall, I probably would pick it up again. But as tier 1, spending the points I did on it, because it was points based draft, I think I would pass up on that and I would pick something else. Or I would pick Tentacruel at tier 2 or something along those lines. I just didn't feel like Talk Specs gave me enough value for what it cost me this season. Now, it did good, and when it put into work, it was tough to stop. But yeah, I really did feel like it was, I should have got a lot more for the value cost. Favorite our floor just after that. I think I said it at the start of the league, and I'll say it again. Absolute panic pick here. But it did a good bit for us, I felt, when we bought. And I got to the stage later on in the season where we're using it more and more just to be able to sponge in special type attacks, or for some niche reason that we had it in there. So I feel like as the season went on, we used it more and more, and it kind of started to fit with the way we were wanting to play. But definitely, I still think I could have gotten a better cleric that wasn't a fairy type, and therefore wouldn't have forced me to have constructed the draft the way it was. But I was still quite happy with how Florida's performed. Like 4-4, 0 diff. Like for someone defensive not to not be in a negative, I think is normally very, very good. And it did do a great job being a cleric. So I think it did good, but I still think it was a mistake drafting, if you get me. But I definitely did enjoy it. Fortress, Fortress was just a bulky steel type that I knew I needed to counter some poison types, and it gave me hazards. It was nice utility, but I think it suffers from the same syndrome that, say, Skarmory has, where it's very one-dimensional, and it's very hard to edit your EV or your set around for it to kind of fit different roles. Florida's luckily has a really high specialist attack stat, which even on invested can actually do a bit of damage. So at least Florida's can give you that little bit more. It's not really as passive, or it can give you a little bit more ideas as to what way you want to run it. Bear in mind, Florida's has the same speed as Bulu, so like, choice Scarf Varied, it was being considered at times. But yeah, I think Fortress is very one-dimensional, and to be honest, could have definitely picked up a better steel type and a better bug type. Could have picked up Escavalier and got more hazard support later on. So I don't think Fortress was really good this year, I'm not going to lie. Torkoal for me, moving on to Charcoal or Torkoal. Great year, great season. Loved using it. I thought it was brilliant whenever I bought it. Has definitely got a niche for what it's meant to do whenever I bought it. But definitely, the bulky fire type was something that I kind of needed to stop steel types, and like from Wreck and Bulu and Fortress. But definitely something I was very, very happy to have. Really, really good. Hits surprisingly hard with the sun. Decent hazard support. To be honest, if it got later on in the draft and I didn't have a decent fire type, I would be picking up Torkoal again. It's good. I did really find it was good. It's not something you're going to bring week in, week out, but it's definitely something that you're going to be like comfortable knowing that this thing's got a role, it can do its role, and it's not as one-dimensional as Fortress because it packs a bit more of a punch with the Drought. So I was very happy with Torkoal. I think it was a bit of a steal, to be honest. So I was very happy picking that one up. Mesprit, Charmander Mesprit. I think really the glue that kind of kept everything together, because since I had to draft Forges, the whole team was kind of more one-dimensional, or not as versatile as I normally like to have my drafts. But Mesprit gave me that versatility, and it allowed me to kind of have different sets and be the kind of thing that pulled the whole team together so that it actually worked as a unit. And to be honest, other than the final week against the Crystal Palo stands, Mesprit was there every week doing some sort of work, putting in the effort. And I think the glue that kept the Wailords together this season and got us into the playoffs is probably the best way to describe it. Magneton had its role and did its role very well, and I do wish I had a faster electric type. I'm not gonna lie, I wish I had a faster electric type. Now, am I glad I had someone to trap steel types with? Yes, it was huge. Week 1 it came in clutch, it picked off the Registeel, no problem at all. And I thought when we bought it did a bit of work. Wish though it was a fast electric type, because those are better. But the role I drafted it for, it did it. So I'm never going to complain about how well Magneton performed for me in this league. I was very, very happy with it. Following that, we have Wicked our Spiritomb, and for me, what the third final pick, round 9. What a steal this thing was. One weakness in the fairy type, which we had 2 steel types covering it, and it gave us the immunity to cover that steel types. The dark type covers any poison weakness that we had with Florges and Bulu, and it was here to trap the bulky psychic types that Megalopoint didn't want to deal with. And I think the best way to describe how Spiritomb worked was it did the role it had to do to pick up kills and wear the opponent down. Didn't bring it every week. Again, another Pokemon that was more here just for utility and whatnot, but definitely did the work. I was delighted with it. Absolutely delighted with it. Something that if it's available down at those lower picks again, I'm picking up. Especially if you got a Megalopoint or something like that, or you see you have a bit of a psychic fighting weakness not going around, I'd be picking up Spiritomb every day of the week. It's just good. It's just too good not to have. I was shocked about how good it was. I really did love using it. I'm not gonna. I really loved using it. And it was always a different set. So I think Spiritomb was probably the steal of our lower tier picks. I thought Mispera as our middle pick was definitely the better one. Probably one of my best picks in the whole draft. But Spiritomb for me, awesome, absolutely awesome. My final 2 picks. Look, I'm not gonna lie, rubbish. Yamega never did anything for me. Tried it out a couple of times, never really worked out. Right, and I know Yamega has potential, or has sweeping potential, but never worked out for me. Just doesn't hit too hard enough when it's in, and because it's so frail, doesn't can't take any hits, and it's just too many weaknesses. It wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. This league, I tried it twice, it didn't work out. And then Rhyperior, I just was never comfortable with. There was one game I was really thinking about bringing Rhyperior. I had a set and all that sorted out, but it just never fitted. I really regret not picking up Rhydon. I think Rhydon with the Evolite would have been a lot better for me. And I think I would have been more comfortable bringing the Evolite on a Rhydon and giving it extra like special bulk, because then I know Rhydon can take any hit then, and then I can give it a bit of an attack investment, and then because Rhydon still hits very, very hard, and at that point I would have had a better ground type. So definitely think I should have picked Rhydon over Rhyperior. It is a mistake, and I probably will go for that next time. If I ever get caught in this position again, I probably would be picking up Rhydon over Rhyperior. Just was never comfortable using Rhyperior. Never comfortable using it. But yeah, that's what kind of my thoughts on how the draft went. Some ups, some downs. Definitely some Pokemon I would love to use again. Definitely some Pokemon I would stay away from again. And some other Pokemon that I reckon are just too pricey for what they brought. In particular, Toxapex being the one there on that one. I'm going to have a quick look over at the results. I thought week 1, before I wrap up today's video, but I thought week 1, epic result against the Charmanders. Just came out, announced themselves to the league, said, look, this is who we are, this is what we're all about. 5-0 win, huge win to start us off, and I thought we played pretty exceptional, if I'm being honest. I thought we shut down the Charmanders early on. Megalopoint didn't see the field of play, was brilliant. After that, we went up against Hera and the SL Benfica, and he actually won the Sun Conference, and you can understand why, because he is good. And even though it was a close battle, very close battle, and to be honest, one of the ones I definitely enjoyed the most, he did pick up the 2-0 win. His base Phalon is a nightmare to deal with, but really close battle. I think if I play against him again, there are some things I would do differently in prep. I don't know if I would do stuff differently in game. There was a couple of over predictions that I made, but which I could have done better. But I really feel like we gave it all there. I think it's just the fact that Hera's team is so scary. He came out on top, but I thought we gave a great effort that week. Up against the Hurliers, they had the Xurkitree, very, very scary team. I thought we definitely won very well, to be honest though. But if he lands the Z Hypnosis from on the floor just when he was in with Xurkitree, it could have been a totally different result. Could have been a lot closer. Could have been much more scarier. But we had the priority, the back to still kind of put in a bit of work and hopefully clean up after later on. But definitely we got a bit of help, a bit of luck there with the Z Hypnosis. But I definitely think we put up we were deserved winners there, because we were controlled until the Xurkitree came in and almost scared us out. After we went up against Denke, who had to drop out unfortunately, and the Scythers, the Cincinnati Scyther Reds, if I recall correctly. I think we could have done better prep and battle-wise in week 4. I think we were a bit off kilter. I think I kind of looked at it says, and I saw the Zygarde, and I could have done more effort-wise. I could have definitely come up with a bit more, with a bit more thought about how to do and how to battle against him. Very, very poor, to be honest. So I can't fault NK at the time. Completely outplayed me and outprepped me. I was very, very poor. He had some stuff he was telling me afterwards as well, prep wise, which I was like, oh, you have to kind of give it off to him and said he was on fire with some of his prep. After we went up against the South Florida Blues, this is where we got the freeze on the Megalop, and I think if we're not going to lie, the freeze was the defining moment in that match. Totally, we had no way to come back from the Kyurem. I didn't bring Florges to deal with the Kyurem. I thought Megalop would be able to deal with it. Megalop gets frozen. Job done from there on, folks. So it's hard to say what would have happened if we didn't get frozen there, and that's the truth of it. If we live the freeze, if we don't get frozen and we break and the Kyurem gets broken, or we break the sub and Kyurem gets gone, you know, it's a different ball game. But it is what it is. I can't really tell. You know, it's hard to know what would have happened. So we were kind of important in a great spot at that point, but we did come back against Trexus and the Indianapolis Cobalions, who had a Mammoth Spine which tears through this team. Mammoth Spine wrecks my team here. But we managed to kind of wear him out. It was a very defensive battle, very, very defensive battle, but I think we kind of held momentum for most of the game. And by the time he kind of tried to force us, he was never really in the position to pick up kills. If I recall correctly, he had abandoned Mammoth Spine instead of Scarfed. I was shocked he didn't go Scarfed. But he we managed to squeeze the W there. I just think, even though it was a very defensive battle on both of our sides, we just had momentum for a longer time, and then that resulted in us squeaking out the timer win there. After that, we got the forfeit win. So not much I can say about that. It's just another win on the board. So that's that. Then we went up against Serene, and again, I thought it was another very dominant performance, just much like the week 1. We went in, we showed what we were all about again. I thought we were on form. You know, she brought a couple of crazy stuff with the electric ball and the bulldoze and whatever, but she just couldn't find a way to deal with our bulk. And then after a while, it was just we just slowly picked her away, and we got the W there. She brought 3 Scarfers as well. It was a bit nuts, but I definitely thought we had prepped for everything that she had bought, and you know, other than the Mew set that she had was fantastic, but other than the Mew set, which we did actually break down, I was very, very comfortable for us, and we never panicked when we saw the Mew set. We were very calm, composed, and we just chipped away at it until it was beaten. After that, we got the 1-0 loss to the Bullet Punch Club. We actually ended up playing the number 1 seeds from the Sun and Moon conference in our schedule, which is a bit unlucky, but we ran them close both times. So we ended up playing against Uzi Gunner and the Bullet Punch Club, and we ran them very, very close. It was last few plays were kind of the really deciding factor. It was on Showdown, and he got a power off on my Mega Lopunny, and it just got to the point where he was able to pick me off there because Lopunny was slower than the rest of the last remaining Pokemon he had. But very close game, really enjoyable game. I had to get up very early in the morning to play it, but I really, really enjoyed it. The game, it was worth getting up for and battling, so really, really enjoyed that. That did put me in a bit of a bind because I had to win my last 2 games to make playoffs, or to be guaranteed playoffs, because I was number 2 seed at this point. And we went up against Deeves and the Calgary Flame Wheels. Calgary Flame Wheels, and of course, you guys know this is the mistake I made with not Mega Evolving on turn 1, and I ended up losing the match. Even though we won 0-0, the result was reversed, so Deeves got it. Now, thankfully, it wasn't like -3 diff was handed out to me, because it was a genuine mistake. It was like 20 past 6 in the morning when we started the battle. Like I was completely out of it. I thought I did well to get the 0-0 win, let alone, you know, what's it called, or get the win, let alone, regardless of the diff. But unfortunately, we made a mistake. I was very annoyed with myself for a long time over that, but got over it, and I knew I had a job to do the final week. I needed results to go my way, and I needed to get up the win again's the Crystal Palo stands, and I think when Julie did that again, a huge win. I think it was basically just a repeat of week 1 and week 8. Went in, we knew what we had to get done. there was a couple of strange stuff that Beanie bought. 3 Pokemon with the Spiritomb, and I bought the Spiritomb because he had Crest. So you know, we eventually picked him off once the Golbat left, I think, on his side of the field, and he didn't have the Hazard removed because we had Hazards up. It was just slowly, just a matter of time until we picked him off, and that's exactly what's the case. So we managed to secure 3rd seed in the Sun Conference, make our way into playoffs, and unfortunately, as you guys know by now, lost out in the first round. But I'm overall very, very happy with how we got on. We weren't even ranked in the top 10 in the post season. With the post draft power ranking. So the fact that we were able to get into the playoffs and we had the performances that we did was what was regarded to be one of the worst squads out of the 16 teams in the league. I felt like we did very, very well. I think, you know, we definitely showcased what we were all about. Some of the wins we had, very dominating. I was kind of very impressed with some of the performance we had against week 1, week 8, week 11 definitely stand out. Week 3, I thought we did very well. Week 6 probably one of my more favorite matches because of the big threat Mammoth was, and we just didn't allow it to run over us. And the matches against the top seeds, the top 2 seeds in each conference, I thought we put on a hell of a performance, and we definitely gave it all, and we pushed them to the limit. I have to say that week 6 match, that was close. We had to play very, very well, and we did to pick up that W. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with the way the league went. I had a blast doing it, I'm not going to lie. Despite the fact I had to get up early sometimes to do a battle, I had a blast doing it. Megalop was so much fun, Bulu was so much fun using. Definitely stuff I could fix for the draft. I noticed now lately, my draft isn't as good as it used to be. I'm great at handing out draft advice when I'm looking at it from a neutral point of view, but when I actually go to draft, sometimes I do make mistakes. And that's something that the next league I get into, I really want to make sure that my draft is nailed on. Like the last few leagues that I've been in, the draft has never been as good as it should have been. And if I can start nailing down how to get better drafts, I think we're going to start seeing me doing better in playoffs, because I think that's what's really been the my downfall. Not getting the complete roster that I really need to kind of push through the barrier that I seem to be at, where I can make playoffs but can never quite get to the that final leg of being in a final and winning a final. It's been a long time since we were in a final on this channel, but yeah, I am going to wrap it up here today. Please, you guys, let me know what were your thoughts on the league, on performance and all that. I know some of you guys may have left them in the last playoff battle that I had against Rent. But I would like to get your thoughts again, if you haven't done so, about everything now that you see the stats and all that in front of you. Of course, let me remind you, these are regular season stats, they don't include the postseason. But yeah, definitely, you guys, please let me know what you thought, and because I love to hear the feedback, and if you guys definitely did enjoy the league or not. And on that note, I'm going to get out of here. That wraps up season 1 for us, and yeah. Hopefully season 2 is not too long away. But yeah, as always, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please click the like button down below for me. If you guys got any comments on today's video, whether it be good, bad, or definitely let me know in the comment section down below, including what's got that today's question today, come on. As I said, your thoughts on how the league went and all that kind of good stuff. And if you want to see more Wexford Wailords action coming right on this channel, or more content in general, make sure to smash that subscribe button and click that bell icon below. On that note, I'm going to be out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.